Introducing the new CenfloRC Black Label Tire Sauce. Gaines RC, in collaboration with CenfloRC, are proud to announce our brand new Black Label Tire Sauce. Black Label Tire Sauce has been in the testing phase for over 6 months now with proven results. Not only does our tire sauce provide more consistent grip, but it does so over a longer period of time. Available exclusively at CenfloRC.com. What's going on, everybody, and welcome back. It is post-race, and I wanted to do a quick video on how I clean and prep my tires. Today we will be using the all-new Gaines RC Black Label Tire Sauce. This is a brand new product from CenfloRC. So in this case, I have the tires removed during race day. I normally don't take the tires off, and I do this a little bit different. So today, the tools that we're going to be using to clean the tires are a Brillo pad, a couple of clean towels, and some Simple Green, and we're going to do this in the sink. Okay, so what I recommend doing when cleaning my tires, what I've learned over the past couple of years is that I want to do the best job that I can not to get the foams wet in any way, shape, or form. I used to use a bucket of water because that was the easiest way to get them clean, and unfortunately what would happen over time is my foams would get saturated with water. Even though I do vent my tires, it's just not enough to get the moisture out of there. You know, I can't tell you how many foams I had rip, especially with 8-scale tires. So what I'm going to recommend is just doing your best not to get the tire wet at the best that you can. So what I end up doing is I soak the Brillo pad pretty good with Simple Green, and this is just 50-50 mix. I'll put on a little bit of medium temperature water. Just temperature of the water is not super important. You can do hot, but it's not going to matter. And then I'll spray down the tire real quick. Now I do have a different method of doing this at the track. And during a track day, one of the days I'll have to actually go through how I do it. It's a little bit different, it's a little bit faster, and it involves no water at all. So as you can see, we're taking off quite a bit of dirt and buildup and dust, and basically what we're gonna do is just rinse that off as fast as we can. And you can see my vent holes here. I don't typically vent my 10-scale tires on the outside. I only vent the wheel. And as I flick this down, I'm going to squeeze the tire and rotate my hand. And what that is going to do is try to push as much of that water that may have gotten in there back out. And then you're just going to set the tire down, rinse, repeat. With no yapping. And as I'm rinsing here, I'm kind of wiping at the same point in time. Now what we want to do once these have sat for a second, you want one towel for drying, especially if you're at the track, and then you literally just want to go through and wipe the tire and try to get as much of the moisture out of the tire that you can. And the reason I say this is that it's super important that the tire is dry before you put the tire prep on it. You can't have moisture because the chemicals that are in the tire prep aren't going to play well with water. And that's, you know, that goes for most of the tire prep on the market, not just ours. Okay, so we are back. Tires have sat for, I don't know, like 5 minutes. You can see that they're pretty dry. So you'll see the note on the top, shake well. You just kind of want to roll the sauce around. I do mark my tires, and once they go on the car, they do not I don't rotate them. What this does is if you don't have, so let me try to explain this a little bit better. What this does is if you don't have a perfect setup car, your tires are going to wear in a little bit differently. And if you rotate them, your next 5 minutes is going to be that tire breaking itself back in, and you're not going to have the grip that you had before. So I highly recommend, at least for a 10 scale, to not be swapping tires around, left, right, right, left. Get the tires on, we'll get this out of here. And so the way that I normally do this is I'll do the rears and the fronts, or the fronts and then the rears, but you want to be doing this from behind. Hopefully we can get a better view of how we're doing it. Most important thing about the tire sauce is keeping it off the glue bead. This is going to go for any tire sauce. There are chemicals in these tire sauces that will eventually eat away at the glue bead. So your first stroke that you put on the tire should probably be right down the middle. And I normally rotate the tire while I'm putting on the sauce. So just rotate the tire until you have even coverage, and try to keep it off of the outside of the tire. On a high grip track, you don't really want to put tire sauce on the outside edge anyways, because you don't want that outside edge catching. And all we're going to do is put a nice even coat on. And typically you want to do this 10 to 15 minutes before your run. You do not want to put a wet tire on the track. And the reason that you don't want to put a wet tire on the track is all it's going to do is pick up every little bit of dust and dirt until you go to burn it off. Okay, and then all we want to do at this point is let it dry. Should take probably 10 to 15 minutes. If it's colder out, it may take a little bit longer. So if you live in a colder place where it's, you know, 40 to 50 degrees, this process can take a little bit longer. So what I recommend is after the 15 minutes, or any residual that's on the tire, simply wipe it off and let it sit for another couple of minutes before you throw it on the track. And that's it, you're done.